Hello, Russian Armed Forces. This is Harrison. Happy Monday. Hopefully, I can start your work week off right with some content from the Russian Armed Forces. Today, we're going to be doing a day-to-day overview of the World War II Soviet Red Army. As you can see right here, I am on World War II day-to-day, day-by-day, blogspot.com. What I've highlighted says Eastern Front. Red Army meets stubborn German resistance in towns northwest and west of Moscow. Both sides are immobilized by lack of equipment and supplies and by the extreme cold, leading to fierce hand-to-hand fighting. The Soviet 11th Army and German 18th Motorized Division contest possession of the Staraya Russa. The Soviet 29th and 39th Army failed to penetrate German 9th Army defenses around Rzhev, leading to the creating of a German salient. The Soviet 11th Cavalry Corps charges held up southwest of Rzhev, allowing Germans to maintain a corridor west from Rzhev along the main highway to, I'm going to probably botch this pronunciation, Vyazima and Smolensk. The railway goods yard at, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Syezhevka is contested in frenzied close-quarter combat. Now, this took place on January 13th, 1942. Now, if you recall, Smolensk was a very important holding for the Germans in World War II. They captured it in the summer of 1941 on the way to Moscow. Now, let that sink in a little bit. Moving on to January 14th, 1942. Here we go. This is a great site if you guys want to check this out. Nothing for this day for the Soviet military. A lot of action going on in Bataan over in the Philippines for the Japanese in 1942. Man. Here we go. Eastern Front, 215 miles to 15 miles northwest of Moscow. The Soviet Third Shock captures Andreapol, opening a gap between German Army Group North and Army Group Center. The need for food drives the starving Red Army onwards towards the massive German supply dumps at Torpitz. In Moscow, Stalin publishes the notorious Reichenau order from German 6th Army Commander Field Marshal von Reichenau, a copy of which was found in the German documents at Kiln. Now, at this time, the winter was absolutely brutal. I can't even imagine the cold, the bone-chilling cold, and the Germans were inadequately equipped for this sort of fight. Now, this is 215 miles northwest of Moscow, with the Soviet Third Shock, where they captured Andreapol. And they opened that gap between Army Group North and Center. They needed food, so obviously they're going to go for the supply dumps. Moving on to January 17th, 1942. Still going on with Malaya here. Whoops. Malaya, there's a lot of action going on over in the Pacific. There's nothing for, there we go. Siege of Leningrad, day 133. The Soviet 54th Army breaks through German defenses at, I cannot pronounce that, 25 miles southwest of Leningrad. However, Germans experiment with the GR-38 high-explosive anti-tank round, and over the next 3 days destroy 4 KV-1 and 5 T-34 tanks, which had previously been impervious to anti-tank fire. Now, the T-34 had that sloped armor and the thick armor on the turret, which really did a number on German anti-tank mines. Panzerfaust and Panzerschreck, they just bounced right off the front of that armor, which it was really revolutionary for the time, because nobody else had thought of that. You know, you had the Tiger by the Germans, which is just extremely thick armor, but you had the T-34, heavily armored, but sloped, so it was even more difficult to penetrate. Now, the Soviet Second Shock Army breaches the German lines on the Volkhov River near the Spasskaya Polsk. Now, we're going to look up the Volkhov River. That will be here in Europe. Zoom in. Sorry for being unprepared. This is my first time doing this, so forgive me. Here it is. Now we're going to look at it relative to Moscow, which is really a central point in this war. Now, you see it is northwest of Moscow, near St. Petersburg, south of it by quite a ways though. Zoom in here. There's the river. January 19th, 1942. There we go, we got some more Eastern Front action going on here. 225 miles northwest of Moscow, 3rd and 4th Shock Armies continue widening and deepening the gap between German Army Group North and Center. 4th Shock Army continues its progress southwest towards Torpets, while the 3rd Shock Army aims west for Calm, having overcome initial German resistance. Now, let's check out where Calm is for our friends that do not live in Russia, which I don't. Looks like there's multiple places. Okay. Not what I was looking for, so that's okay. This is a really important time for the Germans and the Soviet war effort because the Germans had just come off the loss of Moscow in December of 1941, excuse me. And the Soviets launched a winter campaign against the Germans, rebounding for Moscow. They had millions of losses, the Soviets did, and the Germans really had hundreds of thousands of men lost. So, that is the week, day by day, in World War II. I will talk to you guys soon, and I will work on making these videos a little bit shorter, and I'll try to come prepared. It's my first time, and I will put this on the page very soon. Thanks, guys.